Yehoshua, Joshua, Chapter 1. And it came to be, after the death of Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, that Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, son of Nun, the assistant of Moshe, saying, Moshe, my servant, is dead, so now arise, pass over this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, to the children of Israel. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads I have given you, as I spoke to Moshe. From the wilderness in this Lebanon even as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Kittites, and to the great sea towards the going down of the sun is your border. No man is going to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moshe, so I am with you. I do not fail you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you are to let this people inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, to guard to do according to all the Torah which Moshe my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Do not let this book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous and act wisely. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be discouraged, for Yahuwah your Elohim is with you wherever you go. And Yehoshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp, and command the people, saying, Prepare food for yourselves, for within 3 days you are passing over this Jordan to go in to possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you to possess. And Yehoshua spoke to the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, saying, Remember the word which Moshe, servant of Yahuwah, commanded you, saying, Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you rest, and he shall give you this land. Let your wives, your little ones, and your livestock stay in the land which Moshe gave you beyond the Jordan. But you shall pass before your brothers in fives, all your bright fighters, and shall help them, until Yahuwah has given your brothers rest as unto you. So shall they also take possession of the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession, and shall possess that which Moshe the servant of Yahuwah gave you beyond the Jordan, toward the rising of the sun. And they answered Yehoshua, saying, All that you commanded us we do, and wherever you send us we go. According to all that we obeyed Moshe, so we obey you. Only let Yahuwah your Elohim be with you, as he was with Moshe. Whoever rebels against your mouth and does not obey your words, and all that you command him, is put to death. Only be strong and courageous. Chapter 2. And Yehoshua son of Nun secretly sent out 2 men from Shittim to spy, saying, Go, see the land in Jericho. And they went, and came to the house of a woman, a whore, and her name was Rahab, and they lay down there. But it was reported to the sovereign of Jericho, saying, See, men from the children of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land. And the sovereign of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who have come to you, who have entered your house, for they have come to search out the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hid them. So she said, The men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. Then it came to be, as the gate was being shut, when it was dark, that the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, so that you overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof, and hidden them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid out on the roof. And the men pursued them by the way to the Jordan, to the fords. And they shut the gate afterwards, as soon as the pursuers had gone out. And before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof, and she said to them, I know that Yahuwah has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away because of you. For we have heard how Yahuwah dried up the water of the sea of reeds for you, when you came out of Mitzrayim, and what you did to the 2 sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you put under the ban. And when we heard, our hearts melted, and there is no spirit left in anyone because of you. For Yahuwah your Elohim, he is Elohim in the heavens above and on earth beneath. And now, please swear to me by Yahuwah, since I have shown you love and commitment, that you also show love and commitment to my father's house, and shall give me a true token, and shall spare my father, and my mother, and my brothers, and my sisters, and all that they have, and shall deliver our lives from death. And the men said to her, Our lives for yours, if you do not expose this matter of ours, then it shall be, when Yahuwah has given us the land, that we shall treat you in love and commitment and truth. So she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall, and she dwelt on the wall. And she said to them, Go to the mountain, lest the pursuers come upon you. You shall hide there 3 days, until the pursuers have returned. and afterwards go on your way." And the men said to her, "We are released from this oath of yours which you have made us swear, unless, when we come into the land, you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you bring your father and your mother and your brothers and all your father's household to your own home. And it shall be that anyone who goes outside the door of your house onto the street, his blood is on his own head, and we are innocent. And anyone who is with you in the house, his blood is on our head, if a hand is laid on him. And if you expose this matter of ours, then we shall be released from your oath which you made us swear." And she said, "Let it be according to your words." And she sent them away, and they went. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. So they left and came to the mountain, and stayed there 3 days, until the pursuers returned. And the pursuers sought them in all the way, but did not find them. Then the 2 men returned, and came down from the mountain, and passed over. And they came to Yehoshua son of Nun, and related to him all that had befallen them. And they said to Yehoshua, "Truly, Yahuwah has given all the land into our hands, and also all the inhabitants of the land have melted away because of us." Chapter 3. And Yehoshua rose early in the morning, and they set out from Shittim and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and stayed there before they passed over. And it came to be, after 3 days, that the officers went into the midst of the camp. And they commanded the people, saying, "When you see the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah your Elohim, and the priests, Levites, bearing it, then you shall set out from your place and follow it. Only, keep a distance between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Do not come near it, so that you know which way to go, for you have not passed over this way before." And Yehoshua said to the people, "Set yourselves apart, for tomorrow Yahuwah is doing wonders in your midst." And Yehoshua spoke to the priests, saying, "Take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people." So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And Yahuwah said to Yehoshua, "This day I begin to make you great before the eyes of all Israel, so that they know that I am with you as I was with Moshe. And you, command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, stand in the Jordan." And Yehoshua said to the children of Israel, "Come near and hear the words of Yahuwah your Elohim." And Yehoshua said, "By this you shall know that the living El is in your midst, and that he is certainly driving out from before you the Canaanites, and the Kittites, and the Kivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. See, the ark of the covenant of the master of all the earth is passing over before you into the Jordan. And now take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And it shall be, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of Yahuwah, the master of all the earth, come to rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan are cut off, the waters that come down from upstream stand as a heap." And it came to be, when the people set out from their tents to pass over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as those bearing the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests bearing the ark dipped in the edge of the water, now the Jordan overflows all its banks during all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from the upstream stood still, and rose in a heap very far away at Adam, the city that is beside Serathon. And the waters going down into the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, were completely cut off, and the people passed over opposite Jericho. And the priests bearing the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah stood firm on the dry ground in the midst of the Jordan, and all Israel passed over on dry ground until all the nation had completely passed over the Jordan. Chapter 4. And it came to be, when the entire nation had completely passed over the Jordan, that Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, saying, "Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, 1 man from every tribe, and command them, saying, Take for yourselves 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the place where the priest's feet stood firm. And you shall bring them with you, and leave them in the camp in which you spend the night." And Yehoshua called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the children of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And Yehoshua said to them, "Pass over before the ark of Yahuwah your Elohim into the midst of the Jordan, and each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of tribes of the children of Israel, so that this shall be a sign in your midst when your children ask in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah, when it passed over the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a remembrance to the children of Israel forever." And the children of Israel did so, as Yehoshua commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as Yahuwah had spoken to Yehoshua. according to the number of tribes of the children of Israel, and took them over with them to their camp, and laid them down there. Yehoshua also set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests who bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this day. And the priests who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until every matter was finished that Yahuwah had commanded Yehoshua to speak to the people, according to all that Moshe had commanded Yehoshua. And the people hastened and passed over. And it came to be, when all the people had completely passed over, that the ark of Yahuwah and the priests passed over in the presence of the people. And the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh, passed over in fives before the children of Israel, as Moshe had spoken to them. About 4,000 armed ones of the army passed over before Yahuwah for battle, to the desert plains of Jericho. On that day Yahuwah made Yehoshua great before the eyes of all Israel, and they feared him as they had feared Moshe all the days of his life. And Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, saying, Command the priests who bear the ark of the witness, and let them come up from the Jordan. And Yehoshua commanded the priests, saying, Come up from the Jordan. And it came to be, when the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah had come from the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet touched the dry land, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and flowed over all its banks as before. And the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first new moon, and they camped in Gilgal on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Yehoshua set up in Gilgal. And he said to the children of Israel, saying, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What are these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel passed over this Jordan on dry land. For Yahuwah your Elohim dried up the waters of the Jordan before you until you had passed over, as Yahuwah your Elohim did to the sea of reeds, which he dried up before us until we had passed over. So that all the peoples of the earth shall know the hand of Yahuwah, that it is strong, so that you shall fear Yahuwah your Elohim forever. Chapter 5. And it came to be, when all the sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan westward, and all the sovereigns of the Canaanites who were by the sea, heard that Yahuwah had dried up the waters of the Jordan from before the children of Israel until we had passed over, that their heart melted, and there was no spirit in them any longer because of the children of Israel. At that time Yahuwah said to Yehoshua, Make knives of flint for yourselves, and circumcise the sons of Israel again the second time. So Yehoshua made knives of flint for himself, and circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill of foreskins. And this is why Yehoshua circumcised them. All the people who came out of Mitzrayim, who were males, all the men of battle, had died in the wilderness on the way, after they had come out of Mitzrayim. For all the people who came out had been circumcised, but all the people who were born in the wilderness on the way, as they came out of Mitzrayim, had not been circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the nation, the men of battle who came out of Mitzrayim, were consumed, because they did not obey the voice of Yahuwah, to whom Yahuwah swore not to show them the land which Yahuwah had sworn to their fathers that he would give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. And Yehoshua circumcised their sons, whom he raised up in their place, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not been circumcised in the way. And it came to be, when they had completed circumcising all the nation, that they stayed in their places in the camp till they were healed. And Yahuwah said to Yehoshua, Today I have rolled away the reproach of Mitzrayim from you. So the name of the place is called Gilgal to this day. And the children of Israel camped in Gilgal, and performed the Pesach on the 14th day of the new moon, at evening on the desert plains of Jericho. And they ate of the stored grain of the land on the morrow after the Pesach, unleavened bread and roasted grain on the same day. And the manna ceased on the day after they had eaten the stored grain of the land. And the children of Israel no longer had manna, but they ate the food of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to be, when Yehoshua was by Jericho, that he lifted his eyes and looked and saw a man standing opposite him, with his sword drawn in his hand. And Yehoshua went to him and said to him, Are you for us, or are you for our adversaries? And he said, No, for I have now come as captain of the host of Yahuwah. And Yehoshua fell on his face to the earth, and did obeisance, and said to him, What is my master saying to his servant? And the captain of the host of Yahuwah said to Yehoshua, Take your sandal off your foot, for the place where you stand is set apart. And Yehoshua did so.